Welcome back.
www.creedthoughts.gov.www/creedthoughts. Check it out. Nick, what happened this week? How was your week?
It was great. I finally got around to seeing John Wick 3.
Oh shit!
There's a lot of people that
How long did the erection last?
I still have one, to be honest. Amazing movie. It beat Endgame for me, and I loved Endgame. Endgame was epic, but
we wear seatbelts.
Chantel, I'm sorry.
Jesus. We could get hit at any moment.
Safety first.
Safety
first.
Underneath Best Buy. It could all cave down.
We're in Abbotsford. Jesus. You never know. Yeah, John Wick was unreal. I was clenching my butthole and my whole body the entire time. The movie was
I'm telling you, there's so many moments. There's scenes. I'm telling you, he's behind a wall and there's 8 guys looking at him. I'm like, yeah, he's goofed.
Dude,
he's absolutely fucked.
I think still my favorite part was when he's running through that antique shop and they're throwing knives at each other and they're bouncing off and then they're hitting and they're sticking and oh dude and
or when Boban Marjanovic showed up, the 7-footer.
Oh my god, dude, that was
dude,
the beginning of the movie. It's just boom.
Yeah.
Intense.
We are here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and we're all out of bubblegum.
Yes. Duke Nuke.
Yeah. Holy shit. Wild. Well, my week was alright. I'm now a criminal under the law. I got a speeding ticket.
What?
And I was very polite to the officer, so he let me off. I was going 128, which is kind of a lame fucking speed.
Where?
Oh, it was a school zone. I'm just kidding. No. It was
hide your kids, hide your wife.
It was on the freeway, so
Okay.
It was what it was.
I mean,
I wasn't wearing. It was whatever.
I'm sure we're all subject to some some speeding tickets on the highway.
So we've got to address the haters. We've got to address what the feedback was from last week. I thought it was mostly good. Most
of it was pretty good. I think.
Be honest.
I think we got a good response from most.
Apparently,
people.
I'm a narcissist. We knew that.
Yeah. I think we walked into it knowing that, but I mean,
that's why people want to see it.
You're beautiful. So, I mean.
Well, I don't. Sorry, if no one else is gonna love me, I'm gonna do it myself.
Somebody's gonna do it, man. Somebody's gonna do it.
But yeah, I had one girl that was like, "You're really not gonna have a good female audience. This is very misogynistic," and I was just like, "So no head." Come on.
To be honest, I think our first diehard fan is Chantel, and
she killed it.
She's a man and a woman.
She wanted me to save this topic for her. She wanted to be on to talk about Game of Thrones, but honestly, it would just be 10 minutes of us just shitting on it, and then it would be so yeah, it sucks.
My opinion's not valid anyway. So I mean,
we discovered that. You sick
Duly
fuck.
Duly noted.
But
I deleted my history.
Okay, well, good. Thank God. I don't want to see that shit anymore.
Nobody needs to see that. I'd be locked away.
Dude, but I do have to speak briefly about Game of Thrones. Honestly, I'm a big believer of the opposite of love is indifference. I'm not going to throw a hissy fit. I will just be that fan that's oh, okay. Yeah, it sucks. Yep. The show's not good. Now, Game of Thrones now sucks. Guess what? Yep, 7 seasons, and then just the 8th just literally, oh, you suck. Oh, I get it. You're bad. It's tough, but...
I literally asked a couple
I'm going to quote Tony Stark on this. Part of the story is the end, and you fucked it. You really fucked it, I'll tell you that. Bran the fucking broken. Are you goddamn kidding me?
Some people actually deterred me from even because I was still on the fence about starting it and just just
don't
experiencing it.
Yeah,
serious. People have told me just straight up don't.
It's called Game of Thrones and they just end it retardedly. It's just it's awful. I'm very upset. Very upset. What else happened this week, man? What other feedback did we get? People liked it. People wanted shorter videos. We may cut it out into segments. That's possible. But the idea is for it to be a podcast, so we're probably going to keep it
for the most part, podcasts do length from anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. That's kind of typically how podcasts are.
And I've got a lot to say, so...
We could probably even do, other, little just, quick rants where we just, do, a little, 3 to 5 minutes of just, a quick,
Q&A
hot topic or something like that, or a quick,
Yeah.
just a hot topic or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
There's
lots of questions we get, like, you know, why won't you respect the restraining order? Please, can I have the kids back?
I get that one often. You know what I was also thinking too, is because like the whole ginger stigma thing. It's just like since we made that first video, it's been just like it's just eating away at me, and I was listening to music.
It's eating you
in the car.
Sorry.
And I came to the conclusion, we fucking win. Stay here. We have Ed Sheeran. Ed fucking Sheeran is on our side.
I will see your Ed Sheeran and I will one-up you Prince Harry.
Oh, we brought the royal family into this.
The man, I mean, I don't know, but that girl was like, oh, Harvey from fucking Suits, very cool. I'm gonna marry into the royal family. Go fuck yourself, Suits. We win. Like, I don't need another.
You can't even. There's no rebuttal to this.
It's Michael Jordan 6-0 in the finals. I don't need another argument.
It's done. It's time.
All right. That's a wrap. Today's episode may get a little heavy.
I mean, if you didn't think the first one was heavy, it's gonna get.
It's gonna be in the title. This one's gonna be a little bit more serious. We're gonna bring it down, talk about our experiences, but we're gonna talk a little bit about stuff that I get asked on a lot, and I get a lot of like pushback. People think that like we can't talk about this kind of stuff. Like me and Nick being bodybuilders, entirely average, just not massive yet, but just
below
like
average. Let's
like we're gonna like we do the bodybuild, we do the thing, we do the gym, okay?
We do the pump.
Yes. So, but we want to talk about a lot of things going around, like judgment, fat shaming. You know, I get a lot of people. I was in a conversation a few weeks ago with my buddy who, like, we were with these friends of ours, and he's just like, oh, Micah's a big ranker. He likes to rank women. And I was like, that's not a good intro.
God.
I don't know these people very well, and I feel like that's a rough way to intro me, buddy.
Yeah, that's...
But anyways, sure. That's all right. I do rank people. But let's first talk about judgment, I think, is fair. Do you think... People are always like, dude, don't judge people. And listen. It's my opinion, every person ever walked into a room, okay, and you are sizing up every other person in that room. Mm-hmm. You're just doing what you're like, all right, to quote Michael Scott, it's like Baldy, Penguin. It's like you're literally naming people off, and you're categorizing them, right?
Yeah.
What's wrong is obviously when you let that judgment dictate how you treat somebody.
Exactly.
Like that's clearly wrong.
Exactly.
So,
it's more or less like coming into a room trying to read people and trying to like, you know, figure out, okay, I'm not going to lead a conversation with example to the bald guy in the room. I'm not going to, you know, start a conversation with this guy about hair product.
I'm not going to walk up behind him and check my teeth in his fucking reflection.
Yeah, like you're not like, it's just kind of understanding who your audience is at that point. But yeah, then it goes
however, yes, all right.
How you're treating them.
Our podcast is literally called Tinge of Ginge. We know, the thing is, you are
fully
what
aware.
you are. It is like I don't understand. People get upset by like calling out reality, and it's like, I can make a statement about like you are, or you've done this, or you look this way, but that doesn't. Listen, if I am, people have physical attributes. That's just what life is. All right. But the feedback that I got was basically like, honestly, the room got a little tense when I started talking about like what people are, right? And like oh, that girl's a 6, that girl's a 4, whatever. Listen, they started getting into like, well, one of them said like, I've just never looked at someone as good looking or bad looking, and I'm like, that's cool. That's not my experience. I mean,
you're full of shit at that point.
Well, I just think people,
the way that
like,
I look at it.
Listen, and they're also just like, what are you gonna tell your wife when like she's like a 7 and she's like, you see someone who's clearly better looking? I'm like, I'll be honest with her, because that's you saying that the only reason I would be with my wife is because she's good looking. Yeah. That's your problem. Like if you're projecting your value to be just how you look. Listen, I'm a bodybuilder. I'm trying to look decent in some respect. Like that's my whole goal, but that's not my identity. like for you saying like, oh, you think this person's less valuable because they're worse looking. No. I just think they're less good
and that
looking.
doesn't validate
they're probably
looking
fucking
good
hilarious.
and having a shit personality.
They're probably
right?
Yeah, like, exactly. It's like you're probably hilarious. You're probably like, and if you're not, then like that really sucks. Like I don't know. Like some people it takes more work. I feel like gingers take a little bit more work to get into that like.
Some people don't even want the chance to get to know you. They just.
It's rough.
Whoa.
And it's just like when you start telling people that like, I feel like a lot of people project their own insecurities. It's like they don't like being ranked physically because they don't like being ranked in anything. Mm-hmm. But I'm a big fan of like, I want to know where I stand in everything. Mm-hmm. If I play baseball, am I good at baseball? The answer is no.
Am I going to waste my time continuing with this or not? Like, that same goes for when you introduce yourself to an individual, you know? Sometimes you just don't vibe and, you know, do I want to know whether or not I'm wasting my time? Yeah,
and it's subjective. Like, obviously it's subjective. So, but there's also some people, like, there's like a window, right? Like, some people are, like, objectively, like, I'm going to say it's like the 95% rule. 95% of people, like, if you polled 100 people, 95 of those votes would be within this range. So if someone's like obviously like really good looking person, it's like, all right, you're like, you have a floor of like a 7 and a ceiling of like a 9. And then some people might call you a 10 or some people might call you like a 4. But honestly, they're outliers and they're probably just like biased for some reason. Now, this is what I want to talk about last week a little bit. Like, people, whenever people get upset, they're just like, all right, cool, Micah. The fuck are you then? Tell me. What do you rank? And I'm just like, oh, it's not good.
Do you want my honest opinion?
I'm like, listen, this is what like the niche market we were talking about last week was. It's like, I think I have like a floor of like a 4 or like, oh boy, if I got a 3, it would probably hurt my feelings, but like, fuck it. It is what it is. Yeah. I got like a floor there and a ceiling of like my best day, like shredded, like
hair's on point, everything's
good. I think I could pull off like an 8.5, 8. You know, like
oh yeah.
I don't think that I would ever get to a point where 95% of people are calling me like a 9. Like that's not gonna happen. But regardless, this is not whatever. But then there's people that like my buddy Nate Allison. He doesn't have Instagram, so don't even try. But holy crap, the man has a floor of an 8. Just unbelievable. I put him on my story like when we went to California. Okay. And like I had people just like, who is that guy? And I'm like,
they're already on the search.
Yeah, they're already just looking, just hunting. It's unbelievable. It's a legend.
The blessed few.
The truth is, it's like people seem to. It's like a equal opportunity versus equal outcome thing. Like people like you can't deal with reality. It's like I understand that on a balance of probability, if I'm going up against Ryan Reynolds on like a swipe for swipe basis, and we poll 1,000 people in the streets of Vancouver, Ryan Reynolds is getting more right swipes than I am.
This is
inevitable. That's just the truth. Like I would swipe right. Fuck it. Like that's the like I don't. That's fine. But people get so hurt about that. So the first thing I want to talk about was judgment because, listen, we do judge each other, but I've also heard the people. It's interesting because I've also told people, the same people that tell me that are really weird about judgment, is they're the ones that are like, oh, I'm only into black guys, or I'm only into whatever, or they'd be like, honestly, if I found someone ugly, I wouldn't be able to marry them, and I'm just like, now you're speaking in absolutes, and who's the judgmental one now? It's like. I'm going to tell you it's unlikely.
Whatever the benefit of their circumstances,
put it this way.
Siding that way.
I've had lots of people come up to me and be like, they're always like, well, you probably just want to date someone who goes to the gym. And I'm like, no, I don't care. There's some derps at the gym, but there's also some derps out in real life. All I'm saying is I spend a lot of time my time in the gym. Mm-hmm. It's more likely that I find someone with that lifestyle. It's more likely that we have something in common.
Just what you're going to vibe with. Because it has nothing to do with the extracurricular activity. It's just...
Yeah, what are the chances I find someone in a bookstore? 0. I don't spend time in a bookstore. I don't read. I can't read. I'm illiterate. So just relax. That's why I do podcasts. We speak.
Yeah, we're not writing books out here yet.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. People just get really weirdly triggered. And the other thing is like, yeah, let's kind of go into, because we're kind of gonna get into like, did you have anything to add on that, like the judgment thing?
No, I mean, that all kind of summed up my kind of beliefs on it too. Is you know, just mainly people siding with whatever story fits their scenario, right? Like,
and it's all about like intent too. It's like people don't. I feel like people don't even try to look at like what you're actually saying and how you're saying it. They're looking for if you say something that they can't get offended by, they're like, okay, that's valid. It's like, well, you can get offended by a lot of things. Like that's like, you can take shade in a lot of different ways. But when someone's a lot of times someone's trying to help you out, and you're not, you actively try to look the other way because they're like, if they try to help me out, part of that entails me working. Like part of that entails me taking some ownership over where I've gone wrong in terms of like whatever, and I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to take it as they're persecuting me. They're coming after me. Why are they attacking me?
Because it's easier. It's easier that way.
I don't want to get into their psyche because the truth is I don't relate. I don't know what the reason is, but it's just like it really sucks.
One can you know, make an educated assumption on that. Though,
being someone who truly I try hard a lot of the time to like censor myself and say things in a nice way and try to like not be abrasive. And I try, like when you try to help somebody, and then to have that be like kind of thrown back as, why are you against me? It's like, what, man? Like I'm the only one here trying to help you. Like I'm the only one here. What are you doing? It can be like, it can be draining, but whatever. So yeah, I wanted to get into I figured we probably have an interesting perspective on the whole fat shaming thing.
Yes.
And I had a long conversation about this like a couple weeks ago, and I want to touch on that.
We've both been there,
Yeah.
both like ourselves,
Yeah.
personally, but also obviously dealing with people, you know, who have been fat or still are.
Oh yeah,
overweight.
family members.
Yeah,
like for sure.
Close friends is just like, you know, we've definitely run into our fair share of people who have, you know, been on both sides of the coin, you know, overweight and wanting to lose weight, and overweight and completely content with where they're at.
Yeah.
There's a very fine line between, you know, being on one side or the other.
Yeah. And I think were you a pretty overweight kid?
You know what? I wasn't like super bad, but I was chubby. I was a chubby kid.
Yeah.
Definitely got picked on for it. I was overweight enough to be made fun of.
Yeah.
Never content with being a fat kid.
Yeah. Like keep in mind, okay, so I was a pretty overweight kid. I tell people I was like kind of athletic. I played a little bit of sports, but like I was like grade 9 maximum capacity. Like we're talking 5'8", 242 pounds of just luscious beauty.
A husky kid.
Quite a husker. Like definitely a lot of me to love. But dude, the truth is like at that point I thought fat jokes were funny. Like and I also understood, like, listen, I was a little self-conscious. I was a little like, all right, like I like this girl and she's whatever, she likes me. She doesn't like me. But it's like at no point did I think this was someone else's fault. Like I remember this kid on I was on the basketball team came up to me and we're chilling and he's just like, he asked me like this really weird question. He's like, hey man, I don't want, no offense, but like, can you see your dick when you piss? And I was like, holy shit, that's a rough question. And honestly, like at that moment I was like, I could be mad at this kid for this, or like, he feels valid in asking that question, even if it's just a joke, whatever. And like I just decided, I decided like, oh, one day when I decided to lose weight, it was just really simple, like not really emotional. It was just, all right, well, I've been a fat kid. It's funny. Made my jokes, but I kind of would like to get a date to prom. I kind of would like to be on a higher level baseball team.
I want to see my dick again.
I mean, I haven't seen that guy since
birth.
I mean, it's a combination issue. I mean, it's like that combined with a stomach. It's a bit rough situation. We're set up for failure.
Yeah.
The good Lord did not. He really shafted us. But I will say, like, I'm not gonna. If I gave everyone else credit for making me feel a certain way, then I have to give them credit for coming through it. Like it was never about someone else. It was about the fact that I liked to come home from school every day and eat 8 pizza pops. I knew that. that's what it was. But
you get to a point where that's no longer the identity that you want to side with.
It's just
and
simple.
You want something different for yourself, whether that is through previous comments or just through internal reflection, right? Like I mean, you eventually get to the point where you want something different for yourself, and you consciously make that choice for you.
Yeah. And so for me, I was kind of self-conscious at that point. I started losing weight. So my point in this is both of us, I think, can speak a little bit on being that chubby kid. I was like a full-fledged fat kid. And I knew it. Like, I'm not going to... I was a fat kid. But I'll tell you this. I never was more self-conscious than after that first year when I lost like 75 pounds. I was down. I didn't look like the guys in the magazine. I was like 175 pounds. I was like kind of skinny fat, flabby. Yeah. Like I was kind of strong, and I remember it was like in grade 12, and I specifically remember it was like a grad skip day. Me and some buddies brought like the Sea-Doos up to Cultus Lake, and we were skipping the day. And this guy that is like a pretty well-known competitor here, BC. He's like 4 years older than us, and he decided to show up to our grad skip day because he had brothers that were younger than him, but his brothers weren't even in our grade. Regardless, I have no ill will towards this guy. Like, he's a super cool guy. Like, whatever. It's whatever. But I remember I was getting off the Sea-Doo that day, and they rolled up in this like Jeep. It was like straight out of a movie. Like these guys just coming like
the jock guys, kind of like scene where they're all
they were white guys. They were white guys, okay. But yeah, just rolling in like in a Jeep, like hanging out the windows, music blaring, and I was just getting off the Sea-Doo, and I remember I had my shirt off, and he yelled out from the Jeep. He's like, "Micah, put a goddamn shirt on, you fat ass." And I was like 180 pounds, like
right.
I had like flabs. Like I don't think I was fat at this point, but at that moment, like I'm serious. Like that was one of the worst moments of self-consciousness I've ever had in my life. I'm pretty sure because there were like girls there that were like kind of cool and whatever, and I was like, damn, like I've put all this work in and I'm still not there yet. Because when you put this work in and you're doing it for somebody else, you're sort of like, it's always this question of like, have I done enough? Like, am I all right in their eyes yet?
You're validating yourself on somebody else's opinion.
Yeah, and then so for sure, that's not necessarily healthy, right? I was probably more comfortable in my skin earlier on when I was fatter than when I was in grade 12 and like leaner and had lost a bunch of weight.
Because you weren't at that point where you're making the changes actively.
I hadn't understood how important it was between my ears. Like I didn't understand that it's like J. Cole says, like, there's beauty in the struggle, because it's like it's just the sheer fact of like overcoming something will have a manifestation. So if you overcome something, it might make you more money, or if you overcome something that you like, it might you might end up looking a little bit better, you might end up performing a little bit better. It's just something about like overcoming work and keeping yourself busy.
It's the simple hero story.
Yeah.
More like, is what it kind of boils down to ultimately.
Yeah. But my point in that story is like, I've talked to a few people, and they're just, listen, fat shaming is obviously not all right. My point with that is basically, like, you're not, when people try to tell us that we can't speak on this because we're bodybuilders now, we've kind of come out the other side of that. Dude, I spent half my year looking like this shit. Like, I'm kind of flabby. Like, I tell people I look great for about 4 seconds a year, and then I get off stage and pound a few Snickers bars, like, and that's what I like to do. That's okay.
Way too modest.
That's actually what I like to do. Like, and even now, I'll probably be I'm not a super self-conscious guy, but I'm more self-conscious on prep now than when I'm not, because that's a moment when I am putting how I look above a lot of things, because I'm competitive, and I'm not self-conscious because of like your other regular superficial stuff. I'm self-conscious because it's kind of like I don't know if it's a sport, but it's kind of like my competition. Like, I'm like, do I look better than this guy? Have I done enough? Have I suffered enough? And that's fun to me. So like that, I understand it for what it is. I'm not saying that the world's making me self-conscious. I'm saying I am making myself self-conscious because I am holding myself to a high standard here. And I like that. I like to keep myself accountable. But this turned into a huge monologue with Micah. but I swear there's a point in here somewhere.
If you look hard enough, you'll find it.
That's just to say that listen, there's a lot of people throwing out things like, oh, like the movie The Duff. Have you ever heard of that movie? The
No.
Designated Unattractive Fat Friend.
The Duff. Holy shit! No, I haven't.
And it's just like, it's basically like a Princess Diaries type like teen movie about how this girl's like kind of flabby, and she's like friends with the popular girls, but they keep her around because she's kind of like not as good looking as them. She's kind of flabby and she's kind of funny and got a cool personality. Listen, I've spent some time as the Duff, and that's all right. But like, I've heard people be like, oh, like they can't cast someone as a designated unattractive fat person if she's like, she wears a size 8. She's like a normal person. And I'm like, no, listen. It's not even about you. You're missing the point. It's not actually. Once again, this is why the self-consciousness comes into. I think you're not more justified in feeling self-conscious at 350 pounds as you are at 150 pounds. You can be uncomfortable in your skin no matter what. Mm-hmm. The point is you can't let other people do that shit to you. Because when other people are doing that to you and they're dictating what you want to look like,
you will never win. You will never win.
No.
It doesn't matter where you stand on the scale.
Because the truth is, as much positive feedback as you're looking for, they'll never give it to you. And especially if they know that you're looking for their positive feedback, they're going to wield it. And they're only going to give it to you when they want to get something back in return.
Exactly.
So you've given them a tool, right? Yeah. And so
you're never in control of your own of your own choices.
Yeah.
You're always making it for other people.
You got to set your own standard. You got to know what makes you happy. You have to push yourself to do things that are uncomfortable for you that breed good things. Mm-hmm. And so, that being said, I saw this other video. Have you seen that video of the military guy? He's not really a military guy, like in the video, but he's in his car and he's post-workout and he's just screaming about like, he's like, I hear
he's got the Fu Manchu type.
I don't think so.
He's
the younger guy with glasses, white guy, and he's basically just like, I hear all this stuff about fat acceptance and all this, and I just want to say bullshit. You're all so emotional saying that the world is boo-hoo, the world's against you. You're the ones that are going to be dying in the hospital chair, making your family go through that, and you're the ones that are you don't want to make a change. You just want to sit and go boo-hoo. You're just little coddled bitches. And the thing is like, yeah, I get it. When you're someone who tries to, as a trainer or as someone who's had family members and friends try to ask me for help, dieting and things like that, it's exhausting when you're like, all right, here you go, here's your plan, and you check back with them on Saturday.
Against the grain and
and you're like, you check back with them on Saturday, and they're
hey,
like,
I haven't started.
Yeah, or they come to you and they cry, and that you feel like you've had this deep connection, and you're like, all right, man, cool, let's do this, let's get you to your goals, let's fucking rock it, and then you see them the next week and they're eating a donut, and it's or whatever, and it's like, I'm not upset at the donut. I'm upset that you're cheating yourself. I'm upset that you made me care. I can compartmentalize anything. Like, if you want to tell me, dude, I just like the donuts, like, get off my back, I'd be like, dude, I'm not going to preach at you. You don't have to look a certain way. I don't give a fuck. You're dope the way you are. I don't like...
But you came to me for help because you wanted to make a change, and if you're not willing to have enough self-control to see this change through all the way, don't fucking come to me and don't ask for help.
It makes it a lot tougher. Right? Because then I become that motivator for that person. So it kind of like, it makes me like, it doesn't feel good when a client is just like clearly cheating on their diet. Mm-hmm. That's not fun.
There's a difference between being a hype man and being somebody else's, you know, rock, right?
And so then back to the video is, I understand the frustration. Like, I remember when I was younger. Like, I think I shared the actual video because it was an old video. But then I remember when I had shared it, I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, listen, there's some inconsistencies here. This guy is, like, yelling at people, clearly being emotional. He's calling names and yelling at people for being emotional. He's like, you're all fucking emotional bitches. And it's like, dude, are you fucking serious?
You preach, man.
Like, and then I heard, like, I got into a discussion with a long discussion with a buddy the other night, like, because he was the one who shared it on his story, and I guess it had bubbled over for him. He got like frustrated with the people that, like, they say they want to make a change and they don't. That's frustrating in and of itself. But the thing is, that's frustrating to them. That's their own results, right? Mm-hmm. But this guy's doing the wrong thing. You can't fight fight it with hate. Like you're not gonna be able to. You're gonna alienate people.
You will spin your tires. You will accomplish nothing.
And then this guy was like, well, you don't understand. He used to be a fat guy, and he's a Navy Marine Corps. I'm like, that's almost worse. The fact that he was a fat guy, and you're showing an example of like people like. They're like, he's like, if you lose weight, you're gonna turn into this. And it's like, you're an asshole, man. Like, why? Yeah. Why would I do that? Like, I'm not gonna. Okay, so I lose weight, I turn into that, like a blithering, angry douchebag in his car who's sweating and freaking out. Like, do
I need
like I want to
switch?
It's like, yeah, I want to look good, but not at that expense. Like, if you're like,
if I lose all moral compasses,
yeah, exactly.
It's not worth the trade-off.
It's just one of those things that when you start to say fuck fat acceptance and stuff like that, it's just like, how is acceptance a bad thing? Like I don't. These people, a lot of people just, me and you know the value of like doing your cardio, eating your vegetables, leading a healthy lifestyle. The value to that is you might live longer. Like there's all kinds of correlations and things with
there's enough
high body weight.
Scientific studies to show that high body weight is going to lead to more strain on your heart and potentially a lower life expectancy.
You're probably taking a risk with your life. That being said, we all take risks. I just told you I got a speeding ticket. That's a risk that I took. We all eat McDonald's from time to time. Like people that like smoke, do drugs, drink, whatever. Like, I'm pretty libertarian on that. Do your thing. All I'm saying is don't tell me
don't complain about shit that you have a direct impact to change.
Or complain about it, but then bookend it with like, but I do it to myself.
Exactly.
It's my shit. Like this is on me,
mm-hmm.
right? You got to bookend it with that because the world doesn't make you feel a certain way. I don't think like the world. Now, like I brought up the Tinder thing, right? Where like if I was up against Ryan Reynolds, like he would get more right swipes, and someone said like, well, that's just a problem with society. We have to change society's view, like beauty standards. I'm like, no, we don't, because then we're alienating Ryan Reynolds. He's gonna feel like I do. Like, what are we doing here? Just because in general people are gonna be swiping right on him. I just need one. Like that's all I like. You know what I mean? Is like. In fact,
you don't even need any at the end of the day.
I don't need any.
You just need to be content with
You're right.
knowing that you're good with who you are and how you are. Like
I think there's more to it. Yeah, I think
Oh, there's so much that you can
more to a
unravel
person
with
than that.
Yeah.
So
totally.
So yeah, with the fat shaming thing, I just like we're not. My view is just because this is the lifestyle I chose. You're not. It's not an inherently better lifestyle. Like we are going low power mode, champs. All right. We might die, but regardless.
We've already got some good content so far, so I mean.
So where was I?
Summarizing the end of fat shaming here.
Okay, yeah. So we don't live like you're not inherently better because you do cardio. You're not inherently better because you have 1,000 Instagram followers. You're like, in my view, you're probably better because like people are like, oh, I like being around that guy, or I like that guy helped me out when I needed a hand. Like,
it's what's under the physical. I
didn't have a worker for my job site, so he helped me out, or like this guy gave me like. And it's not always a person that tells you what you want to hear. I tell clients, it's like, I'm not here to give you compliments. I'm here to get you compliments. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's not always the nice thing to hear to be like, if you're asking my opinion, I don't think you're doing the right thing there. But that's okay. Like we can have a difference of opinion. But in terms of the whole fat shaming thing, like we can't fight it with hate, man, and we have to get off our high horse of like, you have to live this way. I selfishly listen. I don't think it's that bad of a thing for me to be like, I selfishly want you to be around a little bit longer. Is that okay? Is it all right if I want you to live till 75? Like, it'd be sweet if you could like chill with me for a little bit longer. If you don't want to do that, fuck me, man. Like it doesn't matter what I think, right? Like I've told people this as well. Like I have, if there's a certain family history of things that come into play at 90 years old, like Alzheimer's or something like that, I may have zero intentions of living to see that, right? We all take our risks, whatever it is, and we just have to. All I'm saying is live with the risks, and don't tell me that the risks you take are my fault, or I have to say your risks are like I have to clap You know, like I don't have to.
It's what vibes with you too. Like, I mean, kind of like you were saying with like the the pizza pockets or whatever. Like coming home and having the pleasure of eating an entire box of fucking cereal.
Yeah.
That might outweigh the benefits of having a six pack. Yeah. Right, for some people, and they just like that so much more.
100%.
And it's okay for your values to change at some point in time.
Yeah.
And just go with it when it changes. Don't.
That's what I always used to say. I was like, for 14 years of my life, I just chose a donut, and I knew what I was doing. I knew that I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
But that's okay to say. Like, listen, most people like donuts better than they like leg day. Like that's most people. And that's okay. You're not better or worse for liking one over the other. But like keep in mind what the choice is you're making.
Which one brings you more pain versus which one gives you more pleasure? Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
yeah.
It's just
you're setting yourself up for like to feel like a failure when you're like, oh, I should be squatting, I should be doing leg day, and then like it feels like you slipped into like eating a donut. It's like no, you made that choice. That's something that you did, and all the power to you. But you're probably not going to win a bodybuilding show now. And that's the other thing. Is a lot of people come to me for basic help and they're like, I'm never going to turn into a bodybuilder like you. And I'm just like, whoa, like I don't want you. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. In fact, I think a lot of people at the amateur circuit shouldn't be bodybuilding. Like, I think they get into it for the wrong reasons, and they're cheating their diet. They don't come in shape, or they blow out after their show. And it's just like, listen, I'm not gonna. There's a lot of people that want to throw shade at that kind of a person. But listen, I don't want to throw shade. I just don't think this makes you happy. If this is such a freaking struggle to you, and this is such a if this makes you miserable, I don't want any part in that. Like I don't want you to. If you want to go out on Saturday nights with your friends and stuff, fucking send her. I'm not the one telling you to bodybuild. But if you're gonna bodybuild, let's take this shit seriously. Have some goddamn self-respect and let's show up in shape.
Stand firm with what your belief is.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
I'm a competitive guy. I'm not going to do something if I'm not good.
You can't half-ass your way through a
basketball.
I love competition, right? You can't half-ass your way through anything, right?
100%.
You stand firm on what you believe in.
Yeah, and also I like Gary Vee. He talks about this a lot, and he's just like double down at what you're good at. Be honest about what you're not good at, and double down at what. It's like if you don't like this, and he also says happiness over everything. He's like, you don't have to grind. He says
he still goes to garage sales just because he fucking loves.
This is what I want to do.
It excites him more to sell something on Amazon that he bought for $6 and sold for $16 than it would for him to sell a multi-million-dollar company to somebody.
That's
right?
him.
Like
that's where he finds joy.
That's his.
And he's like, if you want to stay home and watch Netflix on weekends, go for it. That's sick. I don't want to do that, but that's super dope.
But you're never gonna get your bachelor's degree or whatever if you spend all that time doing that where you could have been studying and practicing for exams or whatever. Right?
Yeah, and so I think we pretty much covered it, but
we could beat the shit out of that topic for a while, but
because it's a big one and people are still gonna find a way to be upset. I want to clear up this is supposed to be like a positive thing. Like if people are getting upset about this kind of stuff, listen, this is because we're saying like, I think you're capable of more. If you're saying you just can't diet, I'm saying, dude, I think you're capable of more. Like I think you're selling yourself short. It's literally just stopping this. Like it's just stopping that. But I'm also saying, make no mistake, you don't have to stop that. If you're telling me you want to stop that, then yeah, you can. You don't have to. You're not better or worse for not doing that, right? So yeah, I just see a lot of people complaining about bodybuilding, how fickle it is, and they get so upset about how subjective it is, and they get mad at people sizing them up. They get mad at judgments and stuff. And it's like, to a certain extent, judgments are fair. Like otherwise, everyone would get the job, or otherwise everyone would make the sports team, or everyone would get an A. It's just like doesn't make any you're good at some things, you're bad at some things. And that's everyone. You
play on your strengths.
Yeah. And then
you build them up till they're, unstoppable strengths.
Yeah, right? And you know what else I see a lot is a lot of the people that are saying like being judgmental is wrong is like someone who's like clearly gorgeous Like the guy, like a girl will walk by and the guy's like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
And the girl in the group will be like,
class A head turners.
I've seen a lot of girls in the group just be like, really? Like, she's not even that pretty. Like, I don't even think. It's
trying
just like,
to downplay them to make them feel better.
Like, this is what she's good at. Can you just let her have this one thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she might not be good at math. I don't know what she's good at. But she's clearly good.
She might be leading with just, modeling is her.
That might be her thing.
Her way of living, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, she's playing on her strengths. Let her fucking live, man. Like,
yeah, it's that kind of thing, man. It's people are like, don't be judgmental, and then they want everyone to be the same. But it's like the truth. Why do you want everyone to be the same? That's so freaking lame.
We need uniqueness. That's the only way that.
Let me bring up that list again.
Yeah.
Because I think we covered this.
Yeah, we got through that. I mean, that's...
Oh, yeah, the other thing, the humor... With all of this, people are also a little sensitive. I firmly believe you can joke about anything. Some people need to lighten up a little bit. Like, when I was fat, like...
It's just how you
just make jokes. It's funny. Sometimes, there's a reason that, like, there's millions of hits on fat people falling down on... Or, like, there's a reason why, like... I don't know.
Some people can apply it to their own life and look back and be like, man, that I've experienced something similar. That's funny to me. Some people have never been there, but they can still find the humor in it. It's just it's all ultimately perception of,
Those are some shorts.
I was noticing that her ass cheeks are literally hanging out. Like this is just like a cloth wrapped around her waist. Whatever, live your life.
I'm glad that she's doing her.
Yeah, enjoy yourself.
Was that judgmental?
It might have been. It might have been.
Did we just ruin
We might have
just.
thing? Yeah, we might need to chop that out. I don't know.
Fuck. I don't. I love her as a sister in Christ. I don't. Cool. Anyways, oh shit!
Bless
he just
you.
threw something in her face. It was a pepperoni stick.
Oh
this
shit.
is Trailer Park
She
Boys.
tossed it back too.
No, I'm not looking. She looked right at me. Holy fuck! She looked right at me.
Wham! Peanut butter and jam.
Don't look at her, dude.
She's not even looking this way.
All right, okay. But yeah.
Who's got your belly?
Dude, so yeah, lighten up a little bit. Like, listen, if someone's walks up to you and be like, you're fat, that's not a joke. You can joke about anything. That doesn't make everything a successful joke. But also, listen, if something's a funny punchline, just let it be.
I'm not gonna stand there in the gym and some guy literally just came in. This is his first day in the gym. He's way overweight and he's no idea how the fuck to use a piece of equipment and he's struggling. I'm not gonna stand there and be like, what a fucking idiot. I'm gonna go over there and help him or praise him or help him.
I have literally stopped guys in the gym that there's a guy there that always wears Under Armour tank tops and he used to be quite big lad.
Okay.
I'll stop right there and I'll be like, hey man, I just want to let you know I don't really focus on other people in the gym, but I've noticed you made huge changes.
It's inspiring to see.
It is what it is,
how,
right?
how you've transformed yourself.
And that's people who
don't degrade somebody. You make jokes. Don't degrade somebody.
Yeah. And then at that point, we might get to a point where we can make fun of how he used to be, or we can make fun of how I used to be. It's just a joke, right? But there's jokes, and then there's insults that are covered up as jokes. Yeah. And that's just not. Sometimes it's risky, and sometimes you mean something as a joke, and someone takes it. Yeah. Sometimes you mean something as a joke, and someone takes it another way. Listen, at that point, if you try to double down, you're like, "Fuck you! You're not taking the joke right." You just got to be like, "Oh, my bad. I'm a dumbass. It was a really bad attempt at a joke."
Yeah, that was insensitive. Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. I don't know. It's just
you shot your shot.
I fucked it. It's what it is. What it is. But anyway, I really wanted to talk about that and it's nuance. I don't necessarily selfishly I want fat people to be around. I'd love for you to make life choices that take less risks.
Be here for 15 more years.
But I also want my friends to not go bungee jumping, or I don't want my friends to go on hikes where bears could eat them. So I'm not gonna actually tell them dude, fuck you for taking that risk. Yeah. It's a risky take. It is what it is. But are we ready to just kind of bring it to a close? Because we're gonna.
I mean, yeah, we're coming up on 45 minutes here,
and so. I'm getting sick of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, might as well just save the rest of this stuff for episode 3.
Yeah, but we can let's close out on
the
what was I said? I think I sent it to you. So we're gonna end every episode on like a brain teaser. Tweezer. A brain teaser of like what we think. Like last week was like gorilla versus grizzly bear.
The grizzly bears. Yeah.
All right. So this is a good one. You read it.
Yeah. So this one is you get $10 million right now in your hand, but there's a catch. So there's a snail that's chasing you for the rest of your life, and if it touches you, you die a terrible death. The snail cannot be killed. Additionally, it knows your location at all times, and its only purpose is to find you. Are you taking the money?
I have some questions. Is this snail a thinker? Does he... Wait, so first thing goes to my mind, I'm like, for sure, I'm just going to buy 2 houses. I'm going to have one in Europe. I'm going to have one in, like, US or Canada or some shit, okay? And I'm just going to spend 6 months in Europe.
6 months, yeah.
Question. Is this snail a thinker? Is he going to catch on to this?
Out.
And he's going to be like, this guy's going to be back in six months. I'm just going to chill.
Sleeping,
I'm going to chill in his bed.
Just crawling up the bedside.
I don't want to live like that. What if I wait? What if you lived in like a... Nah, it wouldn't work. I was thinking about like an air tunnel where you like a bed, like you're like suspended
like a hovering, yeah.
But if it touches you, so the snail would just like crawl and then and hit you, and then you're fucking dead. Yeah. It doesn't work.
This guy's going crazy over here.
There's a crackhead. What a classy individual.
Good old Abby.
Right there. Right. Good example. If you like crack, do it. I don't.
To each their own.
But you are probably going to get arrested because, like, he's.
I mean, if you're violently disrupting society the way that this guy is,
he's destroying property. Fuck. All right.
Wow. My question or answer to this problem would be getting like, I don't know, something maybe just as simple as like a salad bowl and just right over top of it.
Oh, you're talking about trapping this thing. It can't be killed, but can it be trapped?
Like, that's what I mean, right? Can this thing be contained, or will it like
I feel like
blow through like adamantium, like just like can this thing just destroy anything in its path, or can it be contained, right?
I feel like you're ruining the question.
I mean, but it's a hack. It's a hack, right?
You're kind of a shithead for it, but I respect it. I'm gonna allow it for your weak ass fucking thing. I'm not gonna trap this thing. I'm probably just not gonna take the money. I don't want to live on the run. I don't want to live. Oh shit, these kids are out of here. Anyway,
they left Pepperoni Girl.
I'm pretty sure I have ADHD.
They left Pepperoni Girl.
But anyway, yeah. So I'm probably not gonna run from this thing. It's $10 million. I gotta equal that out of like that's like 100 years at 100 grand or 20 years at 500 grand, which means like, could I ever get to a point of doing that anyways? There's a chance.
I spent
like without being chased by a rabid fucking angry snail, I don't need that heat.
I spent $1 in a salad bowl, contained it, walked away with the cash.
Fuck. You could reinvest that.
Damn, dude, I can reinforce this.
You might be right. I shouldn't have allowed it. But
I can just quarantine this thing and just like I could just buy a whole city.
It has no interest in salad. It has interest in eating your nuts.
Fuck it, come at me, bruh.
Wow. Yeah, I think we gotta agree to this. Well, who might take the money?
It's a lot of money to pass up,
I have to choose.
A lot of money to pass up.
I'm taking the money. So that's that. Nick, where can they find you?
Okay, so actually, I screwed up my my handle. My handle is actually Nick Too White.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Clearly, I don't know how to use social media. I'm gonna show you guys it again. And also, it's not backwards either. It's oh
really? Yeah,
it's not a mirrored image.
It converts it.
So, yeah. Nick Too White for anybody who wants to see the eventful things that I post. Where can they find you?
Instagram mcaldwell96. DM me for the premium Snapchat. it will cost you dearly.
Yes.
So, all right, guys, we'll probably be back next week. We are planning a pretty special episode. I think I want to do the if it fits your macros versus specified dieting debate. We're gonna get some guys in the back seat, and we're probably gonna get pretty heated on it. I don't want this. That's a sneak peek. Next week is gonna be just simple flexible dieting or specified dieting. All right. So tune in, and we're 10 seconds away from 50 minutes. So we're just gonna fill space. What's up? Nick's gay. And we got 3 more seconds.
You're gay.
Go. You're gay.